caste and students, welcome on the platform Diksha Vedantu and I am your SST faculty. Today we are going to learn the chapter that is gender, religion and caste. I know that this chapter is going to come even in your half yearly examinations and board examination too, and you're waiting for this one shot to be uploaded super soon. So here we brought for you beta the gender, religion and caste chapter. So basically what we have completed up till now is the first chapter from Civics, that is power sharing. Okay, what we studied in that chapter beta, in democracy power sharing is the very essence, it is the very soul, that the power needs to be divided among the among the ruling authorities so that it ensure transparency, accountability, etc. Then we move towards the next concept, that is federalism, which talks about sharing of power among different levels of government. We also even talk about different principles there like formation of linguistic states and many more. But today the chapter is related to the society. Okay, it is related to the actions of society, the beliefs in the society. Like we know that beta in society there are men and women, right? And we are well aware about their status, which is unequal in different parts of the world. However, this chapter will talk about India in particular. In society, there are people who are following different beliefs. These beliefs are based upon the religion they follow. Like if we talk about India beta, there are more than 8 religions in India itself, and people follow the culture, tradition, even their belief, their ideology on the basis of religion. And now it is very obvious beta, the ideology will never be same. As these differences occur beta, one tries to be superior over the other. One tries to dominate the other. And that is actually the very nature of the society. Other than that, like these two topics were so general that is exist in the other parts of the country too. Other countries too. However, beta, there is a particular issue which we have to talk about India, that is the existence of caste system in India, right? Which is quite in particular with the India's society. The caste system, which originated some time back, a long time back in the society, is present up till now, right? Whatever is the case, we are developed, we are not developed, but yes, it is still the part of the society, and this is the chapter which we are going to study today. These are the parameters on which today our chapter is going to revolve. Okay, so let us first start with how we are going to study. So beta, as I always start the chapter, I ask you to first decode the heading. We did it right now. Now the next task is to how to study. Beta, you feel that ma'am, why are you telling this in every lecture? Because I want my students to learn in this pattern always. So first of all, if you are lying on the bed and thinking that you will enjoy my session, just listen to me, please. Don't do that. Sit on the study table, watch the video, and all together keep your NCERT, pen, pencil and a notebook with you. Because the first task that we have to do is to cover every concept from NCERT, and I'm going to help you in this. So this is not something, it should not be a one-way teaching beta, that I am just teaching you. It should be rather we both are studying together. We both are learning together. So our first task for the day is to cover all the important concepts from NCERT. But after that, once our NCERT is done, we will be focusing on notes making, right? So when I am teaching beta, you can see that how PPT is being made, right? How important pointers are there, what keywords I am highlighting, so that you can also highlight that in your book too. Okay? Other than that, if you want to access these notes of mine, there is also the way by which you can download them. I will tell you that in the between of the session. The third thing is beta, after every topic, right? After every topic, MCQs are attached here in the session so that it's not just learning, it's practice along with learning. And by the way, at the end of the session, I added certain homework questions. Homework question, which is my favorite part always, that you will do for sure once we are completed with the chapter, right? This is what the pattern how we have to study. Other than that, what we have to study in this chapter is again the three parameters, that is gender, that is religion, and that is caste. As beta, this is from the chapter, from the book Civics. Okay, this is from the books Civics. It is somewhere associated with what beta? Democracy. Somewhere associated with the principle of democracy. Like what we have studied in first and second chapter, it is very clear that beta, in democracy there are often the rights given to people equally. Right? Like if we talk about Article 14 of Indian Constitution, which says that there should be equality before the law. Right? Article 15, this says that there should not be any type of discrimination on the basis of caste, on the basis of creed, color, religion, or place of birth. So from here, one word come into our mind, that is discrimination. Yes, my dear students. So what happened na beta? Since the starting of the society, since the starting of the society, everyone is fighting for power. Everyone is fighting for what beta? Power. Right? Let us take the example of majority in Sri Lanka. What happened in Sri Lanka beta? That majority Sinhala community, Sinhala speaking again a language as well as the religion they follow was Buddhism. So that community tried to impose their majority or dominance over the minority Tamilians by following certain policies so that they remain in power. What is that? It can be called as religion and politics, right? It can be called as particularly language and politics. So beta, yes, in society on the basis of these three parameters like gender, male and female, right? If we look back at the history, it is clearly stated that beta, that women ought to do certain household works where men are allowed to do some outside works. So that differences lasted for long, and hence there were different like regions in which fight against this gender discrimination happened for a long time. The rights which women enjoy today is actually the result of long years of struggle. Like women fighted for their right to vote in different countries, right to work in different countries, and now also that struggle is going on. So yes, that is one of the things. Like in Sri Lanka, we saw that beta, the Tamilians are fighting to protect their religion, their language, their culture. That is religion and caste. So now the next thing is caste, which we will learn very nicely. So beta, the discrimination existed in the society. Like one of the popular thing that you studied in class 8th was racial discrimination too. Okay? Which type of discrimination, bacha? The racial discrimination. Do you remember in South Africa, right? Then South Africa, there was discrimination on the basis of the color of people. Like dark skin people were considered to be as inferior and the white skin considered to be as superior. But people discriminate only and only to hold power, because once they prove their superiority over the other, they can be in power for long time. And hence, this becomes the very essence in the democracy. By very essence means, I mean that beta, democracy ensure that this type of things do not happen in the society. But we know the reality, but it still exists in the society. May it be gender discrimination, be it religion that is entering into the politics, or be it caste system which is still pertaining in India and still existing in India, though the changes are there. Okay, so I hope that a visual you have got up till now of the chapter. So we will start with the first thing, that is gender and politics. Gender and what beta? Politics. If we look back to the history of India, not only to the history of India, but the societies around the world, right? There were clear discrimination among men and women, and the discrimination was based upon sexual division of labor. And now what is that beta? The sexual labor, this division of labor means that beta, the men will go out, they will earn the livelihood, feed the family, and they are only associated with the outside work. However, women being being a female particularly, have emotional essence and will take care of the family. She will do all the household works. But in reality, right? In reality, do you feel that beta she is only doing household work? Like, there are a lot of times when we ask a house working women or what we can say housewife, ठीक है, lot of times when we ask what do you do, right, majority of times they answer no, I am not doing anything, actually I am not working, rather I am just a housewife. But isn't it that working in the house work, beta, that is more than a work? But what happens now, often we have seen that in rural areas where women are taking care of the families, taking care of the children's, working for the families, but also like collecting water from the wells, collecting for firewood, collecting the trees and all. So what it is that, beta, additional work it is. We have seen that along with the household work, women in urban areas are performing their jobs, doing their jobs, but once they come back home, this is somewhere a natural responsibility that the women will be making the food. Like, I'll tell you one more example. It often, like, it used to happen in my house always, and I was hell irritated by that. Every time when any guest come at our place, what will happen? Pani lana hai, to bring the water, right? Eventually, the eyes of my mother will fall on me. So, I was not having a problem in bringing the water, but I was having a problem in not teaching the same thing to my brother too. Right? Why can't he bring the water? Why can't he keep the glass of the water in the kitchen? Why can't he himself take the food? At least take the food. I'm not even assuming him to cook. So yes, beta, in your surroundings, you can see that the society's essence is made in such a way that a working man in the kitchen is considered to be as, oh my God, what he is doing. If someone is working after marriage, the people are just like, oh my God, now he will work. So that negative statements are almost seen in the society when a man is working in the kitchen. However, it only and only came because of the sexual division of labor, a fixed division in the mind that men will perform these duties and women will perform these duties. But after sometimes, beta, when women were actively participating equal with the men in the revolutions in France, in many other associated activities, the demands regarding that equality came into front. Right? We have seen that, beta, USA being the first democratic country in the world was the country which did not give right of a vote to women for long period of time, and the same goes with United Kingdoms too. So that struggle to get equal status in this society, right, the struggle which started movements is known as feminist movement. But this word feminism or feminist, which is revolving in the society in a way that it is something negative. But using it in negative sense is critical, but you know that the feminist movement or feminism stands for like providing equal status to women that of men. That it is, okay, just giving the equal status to both men and women. This is known as feminism and this is known as feminist movement. Okay, this is what the public opinion should be, rather than what sometimes is taken care in the society right now is that women are misusing that, or sometimes men are also misusing that. However, what is the actual meaning of feminism? Equality between men and women. ठीक है बेटा, these feminist movement has resulted in providing equal voting rights to women, equal status to women in this society, and certain equal rights made especially for women so that they do not feel discriminated or they are not treated discriminated in the society just because of the sexual division of labor. Right? Talking about gender division in political sense, beta, the political expression and mobilization help to improve women's role in the public life. What do I mean about that? Beta, right now if you go and sit in the parliament, you will clearly see that the dominance is of men. right? Why I am calling it as dominance? Because beta, it's merely 15% of the women in the parliament of India right now, only 15%. ठीक है? When we see the status of sex ratio around the world in different countries, it will clearly makes us understand the difference in the preference of female child. If we go back and look at the history of India, we will find that beta, there was high infant mortality rate because people were not preferring girl child for longer period of time. India being agrarian country, India being a country where dominance was of agriculture, people used to prefer men so that it will add 2 more hands in their labor and not female, which will be a burden in the society. Yes, this was the case since a long period of time. Even there are certain cases in rural parts of India which exist about killing of the female, which is known as, even in the stomach itself, that is known as feticide. ठीक है? So talking about all that beta, it is rightly being said that when women themselves will not raise the voice for them beta, the solution will not be easy, right? The solution will be given by the people, not they own it. Right? Exactly, when they need to raise any voice regarding their life, regarding their rights, they should be participating in the public opinion. They should be participating in the government sphere, and hence political mobilization is quite required. Right? I hope that up till now, what I just told you is enough somewhere to provide you an essay on what gender discrimination is in our country, right? Beta, if someone is thinking that no ma'am, now the situation is changed, now it is not like that, we are educated and society is evolving. Yes, my dear students, the society is evolving, but still, right, after 80 years of independence in India beta, there are lot of matters in which we can see a clear discrimination on men and women. Right? There are a lot of factors in which women are still disadvantaged, discriminated. And what are they? Because a 5-marker question comes from this topic. Okay? Before that, let us practice one question, that is, which of the following statements are true regarding feminist movement? Right? Radical women movement aimed at equality in personal and family life. Okay? Agitation demanded enhancing the political and legal status of women and improving their educational and career opportunities. Okay? There were agitation in different countries for the existence of voting rights to women. So beta, after reading the first statement, you might be like, what is this? Let me tell you beta, here there is a word that is radical. You know what is radical? So, when we talk about radical thinking, it is the extreme feminism. That is extreme thinking of something. So, whenever radical women have been raising their voice, yes, they want equality in personal and family life also. So, the statement here is correct. If radical word might not be there, then we can say that it is incorrect. The second is by agitations, the movement that demanded the enhancing of political and legal status of women. Actually, this is feminism. To provide them equality in the sphere of politics as well as providing them legal status so that legally they can be protected if anything goes wrong with them. Okay? Yes, this is correct. And yes, in different countries, agitations and movements gave them the right to vote. Even it in USA, even it in UK. However, in India, because Britishers were there, 1947, when we got independent, we decided that we will give universal adult franchise or suffrage to Indians. And yes, the answer here is all of the above. Okay? So what we studied up till now, we studied that what is sexual division of labor, what is feminist movement. From here, one question will come, that is define what beta? Define feminist movement. And this can be a question for how many marks, bacha? 2 marks for sure. Now moving towards the topic, we were discussing that how women are being discriminated. What are the ways in which women are being discriminated, disadvantaged even after 80 years of independence. Even after what, bacha? 80 years of independence. Let me tell you This is a for sure 5-marker question. Okay, we will write the answer on the basis of this 5 parameters as you can see on the board. The number 1 is the literacy rate. Okay, so what is literacy rate, bacha? Literacy rate is the rate we calculate by seeing the status of students, right, who can read, write and do the basic mathematics calculation. And here the difference is quite crystal clear, that is 54% of the females in India are educated or literate as per this census, and 76% men are literate. Why, beta? The history has been a so obvious reason for that. Like if we start about Vedic time, now women were not even allowed to study the Vedas. After that also women were not given the right to go to the Gurukuls and study because of the security issues. And since then, beta, it has become one thing that why to expend a lot of money on a girl child to study when she is not going to live with us. Okay, she will not be an asset for us. So considering women as a liability, female as a liability is the part of Indian society. Right now it exists in rural areas, core rural areas. Otherwise I think that the mentality of the people have changed. But still this difference in the literacy rate states that yes, women are still disadvantaged in certain sectors. The second one is low paid work. Okay, this is the ground reality. By even we have seen the post of hero and heroines, right, fighting over that issue, that heroines claim, the heroine superstars claim that they are not paid equally as the hero is. What does it state? It clearly states that beta, there is a difference in the payment that females and male get in their work life. Yes, that's clear. I have seen a lot of statements given by famous heroines of India regarding that. If you are going to pay equal to that hero, then I will work in the movie. Now they can raise the voice. But previously, beta, the difference was clear. So the proportion of women among high paid and valued work is relatively low. Yes, that is the reality. Right, and they were not paid equal to men, and hence to provide that equal status, beta, the government has passed the Equal Remuneration Act 1976. Okay, the famous Equal Remuneration Act in the year 1976, which provide equal pay for equal work for both men and women. Equal pay for equal work for both men and women. Yes, the development has been done by the government also to ensure the equality, but still the disadvantaged faced is the part of human life. The third is the difference in the sex ratio. The difference in the sex ratio, that is the average of India is 919 girls over 1000 boys. We will see the map of this. We have to analyze. Right? So it is 919 girls, beta, over 1000 of boys due to sex selective abortion. So for longer period of time in India, it was believed that beta, girl child is a liability. Female feticide was the part of rural societies. If we are saying was the part, then it was the part of India. But if we talk about current status, yes, it is still pertaining in India in some of very rural areas. Right? It was not considered to be as a pride movement when a girl child was born in a family. And like I have seen a lot of people still, अरे बेटी हुई है, कोई बात नहीं, अगली बार बेटा हो जाएगा. And can't relate to that, right? I'm super proud to be the daughter of a mother who was super happy on the day I was born, and I wish that every mother or the family feels the same. So yes, that's the issue. By 919 girls over 1000 of boys, because they are still the areas in India, okay, which is even low, that is 850 girls over the boys born. Why? Because beta, now it is being illegal, but before what was happening, they were actually knowing the sex or the gender of the child that is going to be born, and then female feticide, that means killing of the girl child in the stomach itself was the part, and even of the birth, after the birth was also the part, infant mortality was also the part. ठीक है. The next thing which no one can deny is the domestic violence. There are report of various kind of harassment, exploitation and violence against women. Let me tell you, in the case of India, bhai, dowry is one of the biggest reason, right? Dowry is the biggest reason of domestic violence. Beta, citing the examples of what is happening in today's world. See, what is happening against men, that is also not correct. What has happened with the women happening till now, and I know will happen in future, is also not correct. So any kind of violence, either it be with men or women, is actually not correct. So here we are not talking about what is happening now in the society. What we are saying is, beta, about this gender discrimination, which has been the part and parcel of Indian life, like various harassment, exploitation, violence, killing, murder, and lot more things has been seen. ठीक है. Last but not the least is about the women political representation. As I told you, bhai, right? As I told you, beta, if you sit in the parliament, see the proceedings in the parliament, you can clearly figure out that by only this many women are there. You can even count it on fingers. Right? Because the proportion of women in the politics is very less. By the belief was not to come out of the house. Right? The life of the female for longer time just remained in the four walls of their house. How they were not even allowed to speak in the house whenever major decisions were taken in the family. So how can we think of that they can move out in the politics? But I sometimes blame women in raising their voice too. Right? Let us take the example, beta. What happened in 1992 when panchayat and municipalities were made? Okay? Now, have you guys seen the panchayat web series? If I believe that you guys have seen that, beta, in that it was clearly shown that when in 1992, when panchayat and municipalities was formed, we learned that in the federalism chapter, 1/3 reservation was given to women. ठीक है. Now see, bhai, the jugadu Indians, we always have a jugad of everything. But now the men's were feared that 1/3 seats are obviously fixed for women. And how to get the seats? So what they did very smartly, the smart politicians in India, they chose their females of their house, their wife or sister or anyone, to fight the election as a face. Okay, once they win the election being a woman, beta, they were not doing any office work. You know that they were not even going to office. They were not even, they do not know what was happening in politics. Actually, they were just the acting face. All the works were done by men only. The same scene has been illustrated to us in the Panchayat web series also, if you guys have seen that. Right? But the point is that it does not mean we will not take the action because of that thing. Right? Because of the reservation provided to women, beta, they entered in politics at the local level at least. Right? I can understand there was few cases in which women were acting as a puppet, but there were lot of cases when they were holding the powers too. You know that it increased the participation of women up to 10 lakh women in politics, before which it was zero. How can you say that, ma'am, it was zero? How many prime ministers in India up till now are women? Give the answer. 1. How many presidents have been women in India up till now? 2. Why? Why not 30%, 20%? Arey 50% to chhod do. Why not 10%? This is the issue. Okay? So yes, the political representation of the women has been found like very low. The proportion of women in legislature. Legislature means we are taking the average of all the state legislative assemblies, has been very low. Percentage of women in Lok Sabha is 14.36% as per the elections of 2019. So as per the 2019 election, the women in Lok Sabha were merely beta 14.36%. Yes, this percentage is important. Question will come. And if we talk about assemblies, it is only and only 5%. This is how women are being felt disadvantaged, treated, discriminated since a long period of time. And here is your 5-marker question. Okay, which you have to learn very nicely if you want to get the 5 marks, 5 points, and this is the way you will write your answer. You will give the answer to the examiner and the examiner will be super happy. Okay, so yes, we are done with this. On average, an Indian woman work dash more than an average man every day. So if we see the average, beta, I want you to read the NCERT and answer this. Right? I can tell the answer, but I want you to read this NCERT and answer this. One more MCQ that we missed here is patriarchal society means. What is patriarchy, which has been the part and parcel of Indian life? Beta, a society dominated by men, a society dominated by women, a society where there is equality between men and women, and none of the above. So we know that patriarchy is the society dominated by men. Okay? Where all the decisions are taken by men, the property is transferred to the men of the family, and he is considered to be as the head of the family too. Chalo. The Equal Remuneration Act of what, beta? 1976. We just saw. So B is the correct answer. Provides that there should be equal wage for equal work for both men and women. Okay? Equal wage to be paid to both the people when they work together. Okay, so the percentage of elected women members in Lok Sabha had crossed 10% of its total strength for the first time, which is very, very important. But recently we saw that in the elections, according to the elections of 1919, the women participation in Lok Sabha is 14.36%, right? But you know one more fact that, but it was first time. It was first time when this proportion of women has crossed this figure of 10%. Okay? So you will mark here the option D, that is 2019. What you will mark? 2019. Moving towards the next topic. One map is given in your book. Okay? When map is given in your book, the question can come and hence we have to analyze it. It is the different child sex ratio in different areas of the country. So basically when we are talking about child sex ratio, I am taking what according to this map, the age group of 0 to 6 year. 0 to bacha what? 6 year. Okay? If we will see this Jammu and Kashmir, you can see 859. By the national averages 919. It is quite low from that. See Punjab, it is 846. By usse bhi gaya hai. Critical condition. See Haryana, this red color. Why I am marking this red color first, beta? See, Jammu Kashmir is quite better than Punjab and Haryana, 859, but very bad than the average of India. Talking about Punjab and Haryana, 846. Haryana more worst, 830. Chandigarh, it is 867. ठीक है, this belt of India is actually having the problem. Uttarakhand 886, national by NCR Delhi it is 866, Rajasthan 883, Uttar Pradesh beta. So ये orange वाला जो part है ना, this orange part, this red part is actually the critical area where the sex ratio is lowest and where the sex ratio is maintained good. Like the best is in Chhattisgarh, that is 964, and then in Kerala that is 959. Even here in northeastern part of India, Arunachal Pradesh 960, Assam 957, Meghalaya 970, and Tripura beta 953. The best which I can see up till here is Mizoram. ठीक है बेटा, मिजोरम which is with 971. ठीक है, 971, this is the highest which I can see, and then Meghalaya. ठीक है, not Chhattisgarh. Fine. So which is the highest one with the sex ratio? 971, that is Mizoram. And which one is the lowest one? Obviously it is Haryana with 800 and kitna tha? 830. ठीक है, get it? However, the average sex ratio in India is 919. So yes, this map is very important. It can come in your exam. Let us see some questions like the national average of child sex ratio, number of girl children per 1,000 boys in the country as per census 2011 is. So we just saw it, 914 it is given. It is the more closer one. However, it is 919. ठीक है, चलो. So women in national parliament in different regions in the world. So when we talk about this women in national parliament in different region of the world, beta, there are countries referred as Scandinavian countries. Okay, it is referred as Scandinavian countries. So what are these countries? Like Sweden, ठीक है, then it is Norway, Sweden, Norway and Finland, right? They are the best performer country in terms of women population in their politics, or what we can say women participation in their parliament, right? If you will see this map, you can see the graph, beta. India is having a critical situation with 11.8% participation of women in politics. The best country performing are Nordic countries, then the America, Europe, even Sub-Sahara region is performing better than that. Asia as a whole contain 19.8%, Arab states 18.6%, Pacific 15.6%, and India with 11.8%. So yes, question can come from the graph like dash region has the highest representation of women in their national parliaments. What do we write? Is it Pacific, America, Middle East or Nordic countries? Nordic countries like Sweden, Finland, Norway and that region. Okay, get it? Okay, great. Chalo. Now, what are the provisions to increase women participation in politics? By as in Indian society, the division of labor being the main important part of the society, women were not given rights for long years. Okay? But this topic is not about the rights. This topic is about only their political rights. As we can see that there is a dropping rate of women participation in the politics since long years. What are the steps taken by the government to beta improvise their situation? Is there any? Yes, there are steps taken. Like number one, that is in the Panchayati Raj system, it was for the very first time that the 1/3 seats are reserved for women in local government bodies. ठीक है, how many seats are reserved for women beta? 1/3 seats are reserved for women in local government bodies, right? Now because of this representation, more than 10 lakh elected women represents in rural and urban local bodies. But there was one more issue. You know that, beta, as it was provided in 1992, since a long time there were demands for the same time of representation, same type of reservation for women in parliament and state legislative assembly. But do you know that? Do you know that even one image is given in NCERT also when beta women are demanding for their political rights, and what happened, the parliament is actually surrounded by women, not allowing the women to enter, and they are saying that bhai, we will try to give you rights. What you know, what do you mean that beta? Until men will be deciding, because see, the bill is always presented in the parliament, okay, whether to give political rights to women or not. So until the men will be deciding for women beta, the rights will not be given, and that is very clear to us. You know that it was presented in 2011. What is presented? The bill regarding the reservation of women in parliament and state legislative assemblies, and beta, it took 1 decade to decide by the dominant men in the parliament that the bill needs to be passed or not, which is quite a critical situation. So it was in 2023 when this Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam Act, the Women Reservation Act, was passed, which gives 33% reservation of seats for women in Lok Sabha, state legislative assemblies, and also the Delhi Assembly. But the irony, you know that after the passing of this bill in 2024, elections were organized in Lok Sabha, but no such reservation was implemented up till now. Why? The reason was census was not done. Now the next elections are going to be organized in 2029. We are just hoping that beta, this particular act, which was passed back in 2023, implemented there in 2029 elections or in the future elections of India. So see that beta, 2011 the bill was presented, 2023 more than a decade the bill was passed, and it is 2026 which the bill is not yet implemented anywhere in the country, and still we argue about the rights and equality of men and women in the society. Okay, getting my point? So yes, this is Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam Act of 2023. These are, however, the provisions to increase the women participation in politics. And if you say so, that why is the reservation required? Go and count the number of women sitting in the parliament. And this will give us a clear insight of what the situation right now is. Now moving towards the next topic, beta, that is about religion, communalism and politics. So what we have completed, okay? What we have completed is gender thoroughly, which is one parameter of the chapter. Okay, beta, what is important from this parameter before moving to the next one is first the division of what is definition of what is sexual division of labor. Okay, what is sexual division of labor? Please read this very nicely. Then learn the definition of a feminist movement. Learn the definition of feminist movement. Okay, again this is a 2-marker question, as I told you. The next is about beta 5 ways in which women are being discriminated since a long period of time in India. Okay, this will be your 5-marker question. The last thing that you have to learn about women representation in politics. Okay, women in politics, because everything we'll be learning in this chapter will be connected with the politics. Okay, now moving towards the next point, that is about what beta? That is about religion, communalism, and then it is connected with politics. So first I will talk about religion. By India being the land which is the birthplace of almost all the major religions in the world. I said almost all, not all. Okay? And now, beta, whenever there is a religion, whenever there is different type of religion, what will happen? The clashes of ideologies will always happen. Like when I talk about Buddhism or Jainism, yes, it started against Hinduism in India. When we talk about Islamism that came to India, right, which was not exactly with the ideology aligned with Hinduism, Buddhism or Jainism. Later on, then we have seen that Christianity came to India. There are people following Judaism and many more that existed in India, beta. But one thing is common among all. You know what, beta? That one religion tries or believe that I am superior over the other. Okay? So there is one statement given by Gandhi ji once, beta, that religion can never be separated from politics. Right? Doesn't it sound so awkward that a person like Mahatma Gandhi giving this statement that religion can never be separated from politics? Because beta, a question will come that justify the statement or tell the meaning of statement what Gandhiji wanted to tell us, beta. Gandhiji here wants to tell us that every religion teaches us the morals. Right, the morals, the values, as well as the ethics that we need to follow in human life. If we take this moral values and politics and imbibe in, from religion and imbibe it in politics, then the country can work smoothly. Right? And hence he said that in a country where different religions religion exists, beta, we can never separate politics from religion. We have to take the moral values and ethics from there. Okay? This is actually the fact. But yes, again, the discrimination, the differences still existed. Right, which led to beta communal issues. Communal, what do you learn by this word community? Community is the group of people following the particular religion. Right? Whenever one community do not move with the ideology of another, beta, there are communal differences. Right? Those communal differences later result into riots, like we know the example of the communal fights between Hindu and Muslims in India, which resulted into the partition of undivided India. Right? Resulted into the partition of India and Pakistan. So now the protection needs to be provided to, yes, human right groups in the countries have demanded that government should take special steps to prevent the communal riots. ठीक है, riots. Women movement have argued that by family laws of all the religion even discriminate against women. So yes, this is also one of the statement. However, this is regarding the previous one, that beta when we see religion, ठीक है, all the religion, be it Hinduism, be it Islamism, be it Christianity or anything, the women activist has argued that all the religion have one thing in its common, is to not treat women equals to that of men. The statement is also given. Remember the first one, that is religion can never be separated from politics. Who gave this statement? Gandhi ji. Will the question come? Yes. Dash used to say that religion can never be separated from politics because they believe that politics must be guided by the ethics drawn from religion. ठीक है? Yes, it is Mahatma Gandhi. Got it? Now, from this religion comes the community, and there from where comes the topic, that is communalism. Now, what is communalism, beta? See, communalism is a phenomena existing in the politics of India, where religion is the basis of the nation. Where religion is what? The basis of the nation, right? In this ideology, people have a belief. People have a belief that beta, one religion should be superior. My religion is superior and the other religion is inferior. This belief is known as communalism. Again, right? Beta, what happened? Religion. ठीक है? Religion is what, beta? By which your culture, your traditions, your beliefs depends upon. From this religion, a person who follow the religion, all them grouped together becomes what? Community. When this community believes that by my religion is superior over the other, this feeling or this phenomena in politics is known as communalism. ठीक है? When the demand of one religious groups are formed in opposition to another. When you demand in a way that भाई मेरा काम करो उसका मत करो, ठीक है? When state power is used to establish domination of one religious group over the rest. So beta, when communalism is entering in politics, it becomes what, bacha? It becomes communal politics. It becomes what, beta? Communal politics. The question in your exam can come that what are the features of communalism? Number one, religion is the basic. This is the feeling when one community proves them to be dominating or superior over the other. When one religious group demands for their, not for others. When the state want to establish the dominant on the basis of religion, when they enter in politics, they form communal politics. These are the features or the principles followed in communalism. Now, the next thing is, how does this communalism take forms in politics? Right? We will do that after solving this question, that which of the following statements are true regarding communal politics. Okay? Statement is state power is used to establish the dominance of one religious group over the other. Haan bhai, it is correct. Belief of one religion are presented as superior to the other. Yes, we just read that. Communal politics is based on the idea that religion is the principal basis. Yes, all of these are correct. D will be the correct answer to this question. ठीक है? D will be the correct answer to this question. Moving towards the main thing, that is communal politics, right? Again, beta, the same points I guess are somehow added by me. Yes, this is the point. ठीक है? The next is how communalism take forms in politics. So how communalism take forms in politics? This is the second important question of the day. ठीक है? But what is happening now? See, communalism, a feeling when you believe by I am superior. Now, when this communalism feeling enter in politics, you want only your government, only your community to be in rule, only your community to be in power. ठीक है? What will the question come from this topic? How communalism take various forms in politics. Again, how communalism takes various forms in politics. Number 1. Communalism routinely involves religious prejudices, stereotypes of religious communities, and belief in the superiority of one religion over the other. Now, what are those heavy words in this list, beta? So, what happened na? In our day-to-day life, beta, there are certain prejudices, right? As well as stereotypes, So what are the prejudices? Beta, prejudice here means a fixed notion, a fixed pre-decided notion in your mind. That by pre-decided notion means by my community is good. Okay? Who told us that? The members who were in the society, okay, following the same religion, and the other one is bad. Okay? Beta, see, following one religion, following and being proud of one religion is different thing, but considering other as inferior is a different thing. So what happened? It comes from our day-to-day thinking. Day-to-day thinking, when we have a prejudged notions, when we have a fixed mentality in our mind, and it will never be changed. Okay? Never be changed, because it consider your religion as superior and the other ones as inferior. This is how communalism enter in politics. Communalism take forms in politics. Right? Because when this feeling of communal mind is in you, na beta, you often lead to quest for political dominance. Right? You want that the power, the government should be in a form that favors your community. The government should be form that actually work for your community. The community should be preferred over others by the government. This is what? This can only happen when you have dominance in politics. Okay? So, beta, this communal mind often leads to quest for political dominance of one's over the other religious communities. Right? The political mobilization on religious line is another frequent form. Beta, what happened? The mobilization means movement. So, consider the fact that from your region a leader is fighting the election that do not belongs to your community. Somewhere you will feel that, yeah, I don't want to give vote to that person. Okay? For that, beta, what they are doing? Political mobilization, analyzing. See, politics is also a gameplay, analyzing that, acha, in this region, this particular community is the most. And hence, what we can do? We can choose the leader from that religion so that the maximum vote comes. Like, let me tell you the example when India was not independent. Okay? Beta, when India was not independent, the clear-cut visuals were seen in the elections. Clear-cut scenes were like that. There was two different political parties, Indian National Congress and Muslim League. You know that the votes that was won by Muslim League was proportionately higher in the Northwest Frontier province, that means part of present-day Pakistan, Baluch region, then in the Bengal region also. Why? Because there were majority of Muslims. Okay? However, when we talk about the mainland India, the central India, the Deccan India, there were higher votes in comparison to Muslims to the Indian National Congress. However, like if I talk about the Indian National Congress, there were Muslim leaders also. But in spite of that, beta, it was considered that as the dominance in the membership of Indian National Congress are of Hindus. That time the Muslims considered, the Muslim League considered that this is not for our wish, or what we can say will. Okay, and hence supported the Muslim League for that. That actually led towards the partition of India. Right? We can even analyze that what actually led to the idea of Pakistan was the result of the elections. In the result of elections, when they felt that, beta, we will always lack in Hindu-dominated area in terms of votes, that feeling led towards the idea of Pakistan. So what is that? This is somewhere political mobilization over religious line is equal. Yes, this is the form of communalism. Okay? Yes, that is the form of communalism. This involves the use of sacred symbols. By what happened na? When the leaders are going to give their speeches, or when the leaders are choosing their symbols for election, they often go for sacred symbols. Religious leaders, emotional appeal, by they will go to your houses, they will come to your area and emotionally blackmail you, taking religion as the basis. ठीक है, bring the follower of one religion together in the political arena. This is known as how communalism take forms in politics. ठीक है, even बेटा this politics sometimes takes so ugly form that it result in the riots, and India has witnessed it back 80 years. ठीक है बेटा, people are not even right now also came out of that partition zone, right? And it will never be over. It will never be over. The feeling was different at that time. So question is, how communalism take forms in politics? Again beta, this is a 5 marker question. See bacha, you know that this is one of the easiest chapter. ठीक है, when we are reading it, when we are just reading the book na, this is one of the easiest chapter. But the time we start writing the answers from this chapter, everything is just mixed up. Everything is just mashed up, and this happens with lot of students. If I see the track of students in the last few years, this is the chapter from where they lacked good marks. ठीक है, why? Because see, it seems like अरे gender topic है, we can write by our own. अरे community topic है, we can write by our own. बेटा, there are keywords. There are keywords which are in your book. ठीक है, like when I'm reading this, I am underlining some points like quest of political dominance. I am underlining political mobilization on religious line. These are the keywords which are needed in the answers. So if you are also believing that by chotu chapter hai, easy chapter hai, we are going to do it very easily, don't do that. ठीक है, I am telling you some fixed questions which you have to anyhow learn in a way that all the keywords are there, and I know you will be doing it, and I am pretty sure that you will be doing it. Okay, moving to one of the practice question. Consider the statement given below and choose the correct answer. So what is the statements beta? Statement number 1, a communal mindset can lead to efforts to secure political influence for a specific religious group. Okay bhai, so when you have a communal mindset, ठीक है, it can lead to efforts, ठीक है, to secure political influence for specific religion. हाँ, obviously. Statement 2, member of the majority community may seek to create a separate political entity as a response to such dynamics. ठीक है, both statement 1 and 2 are incorrect. Statement 1 and 2 are incorrect. Sorry, I'll reread it. I just mixed it up. Statement 1 is correct and 2 is incorrect. Statement 1 is incorrect and 2 is correct. 1 and 2 are incorrect and 1 and 2 are correct. So sometimes we have to reread the question because I also mixed it up. A communal mindset can lead to efforts to secure political influence for a specific religious group. हाँ भाई, correct है ये, ठीक है. Next, member of the majority community may seek to create a separate political entity as a response to such dynamics. So yes, both 1 and 2 here are correct. ठीक है, great. चलो. Okay, now moving to the next word, next topic, that is secularism in India. So as seen beta, there were difference on the basis of religious line in the country. There were different religion in the country. What India opted was, right? What India opted was the word secular. If we look, we can see that the secular word is also added in the constitution. ठीक है? Also added in the constitution. When you were in class 8, we learned this chapter secularism in detail. By the way, what does this word actually means? Right? Beta, the word secular means that we have the right to follow, right? We have the right to follow any religion. We have the right to follow any religion or not follow anyone, okay? Or not follow anyone. So there are a lot of people who do not actually follow religion and call themselves as atheists. So yes, you also have the right to follow any religion, okay? You also have the right not to follow any religion. You can by choice change your religion, but not by force. Okay? This is known as secularism. Yes, India is a secular country, but Pakistan is not a secular country. Why, beta? Whenever the state right? Whenever the state, whenever I use the word state in politics or civics, you have to understand that it is not the state of Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Rajasthan, etc. But the state word here means country in politics. Okay? So whenever the state just declare its national religion that by we are the country following this particular religion, that is not a secular state. That is not a secular state. But in the case of India, do we have any evidence that India declares that this is the religion of India? No. Right? So whenever beta any state declares its state religion, right, ask people to follow that religion, forcibly convert people to follow that religion, that is not a secular state. However, secularism is the core ideology of Indian politics. Indian constitution, it is considered to be as fundamental provision. Okay? Fundamental provision, the provisions which cannot be altered or changed. Okay? Yes, Constitution of India have certain provisions which declare India as a secular state. This question comes for beta 3 marks. How India is a secular state? How India is what? A secular state. Because we do not have any official religion for Indian state like it is in Pakistan, like it is in United Kingdoms. Yes, United Kingdoms. Study about it. So yes, India is one of the states which do not declare any official religion. Number 1. Point number 2. In the Constitution of India, beta, it provides to all individual and communities freedom to profess, important words, practice and propagate any religion. Now what is this by profess? Like professor. What professor is doing? Teaching you. So right to profess means to teach your religion. Right to practice means again to practice and follow your religion, and propagate means to spread your religion. Like in India, you might have seen that the festivals from the different communities, from the different religion are celebrated openly. Like the procession during the time of I don't remember that particular thing. Okay, so the processions taken on the time of any of the Hindu what we can say festival. Okay? Other than that, the same goes with Islam also. The masjids which are being made, the practice being followed, professed, etc. Similar is with the church also, right? Similar is with Buddhism and Jainism also. So beta, when you have the right to profess, teach, practice matlab follow, and then propagate matlab to spread the religion. This is the right given to us in the Constitution, and even you have the right not to follow any. You also have the right, bacha, what? Not to follow any. Get this point or not? Okay? Clear to all of you? Very good. The Constitution even prohibits discrimination on the grounds of religion. Whenever there is Article 14 and 15, it says that there will be no discrimination on the basis of religion. Yes, this makes India a what? Secular country. Point number 1, point number 2, and point number 3. Okay? But now from here comes a controversy. And what is the controversy, beta? See, if we look at about the definition of the word secular, right? If we look at the, what we can say, if we look at the ideal definition of the word secular, which we saw even in class 8, is that, beta, that there should be no relation between, right? There should be no relation between state and religion. Okay? State and religion. By state I mean government, and by government I means politics. So, beta, secularism means that there should be no direct relationship between state and religion. If I say that any country which ideally follows this, okay, ideally follows it is USA. Any decision regarding to the religion, what to be followed, what not to be followed, is not at all taken by the government, not even they intervene in that. Okay? That is the situation ideally known as secularism, when there is no relation between state and politics. But India is an exception to this. Okay? We are not following the ideal secularism that existing in USA. Why, beta? Because we have given the state ठीक है, we have given the state the right to intervene, right to intervene in the matters of religion, when required. Now when required, ma'am, it can be a chance that government can negatively enter into the religion and make changes. Beta, this is not possible. But when required, like let me tell you an example. So a law was made by the Indian government to like wear helmet by everyone during the time of driving. Now beta, as Sikh religion has the like what we can say culture of wearing that pug, how they can wear the helmet. Yes, so a reasonable exception was provided to it. So now we are a country promoting equality, but in that case other religion can raise their voice that this is a religious issue, but it can intervene in certain religion, in certain like topics when required. Like let us take the example of triple talaq. So here in the triple talaq, judiciary, which is actually the part of like Supreme Court, which is actually the part of the Indian administration and legislative government, took the decision that beta triple talaq is illegal. What do you consider this as? The intervention of the state when required. One more thing, untouchability. The part of core Hindu society for long period of time, beta, it was declared as illegal, and the practice of untouchability is considered to be as an offense. It's written in the constitution and made a fundamental right by the state, and this is how, when required in Indian society, beta, state can intervene in the religious matter. This was just to safeguard the what we can say the rights of the individuals being treated discriminated or treated differently because of these religious matters. Getting my point? So yes, whenever the question comes, India is a secular country. Yes, India is a secular country. These are the points that you have to write. Okay? And then we understood one more topic about that. Okay, question time, my dear students. This is so there is no official religion in Sri Lanka में है बेटा. What they did, that Buddhism, ठीक है, Sinhala and Buddhism. So yes, Christianity in England, Pakistan में Islamism, but there is no such official religion in India because India is a secular country. Great. Which of the following statement is true? Options are A. The Constitution of India allows the state to intervene in the matter of religion in order to ensure equality within the religious communities. I just explained you this statement, but we will read the other ones also. Option B. Constitution prohibits discrimination on the grounds of religion. This is also correct by. So the Constitution provides to all individual and communities freedom to practice, profess and propagate any religion of their choice. Yes, this is also correct. Hence the answer to this question goes as D. All are correct. Okay? All the options provided here are correct. Very good, my dear student. And now we will be moving towards the third part of the chapter, that is caste. But before that, let me tell you that बेटा सबसे पहले we covered the part of gender. ठीक है, I added important pointers already, that is feminist movement. ठीक है, feminist movement is an important part to remember. Again, that was sexual division of labor. ठीक है, then there was 5 ways in which women were treated as disadvantaged or they were disadvantaged, 5 marker question. And then we learned about what beta at last, the government efforts. ठीक है, government efforts to increase the position of women in politics. Okay, the next thing that we covered up till now is communalism or religion. ठीक है, the first thing that you need to know is beta the definition of communalism, right? Then beta the features of communalism. ठीक, features of beta what? Communalism. अच्छा, one more definition that is quite important here is communal politics. What it is beta? Communal politics. ठीक है, by 1 short question from this topic is how, right? How communalism takes form in politics. Takes form in politics. And the last but not the least important question is about how India, right? How India became a secular country. India became a secular country. Write the important topics if you are reading with me the NCERT. Okay? In the margins of that particular NCERT. Moving toward the third part of it, that is caste. Right? Why the favorite topic from this caste is about caste in politics, politics in caste, which students are so much confused that every time I teach, ma'am, can you please share what actually caste in politics and politics is caste is? Beta, it is just the, what we can say, gameplay. Okay? It is the gameplay of words. That's it. Right? Rest the topic is very, very easy. Now coming towards casteism in India. By C. So now, as I have read like a lot of books, when I talk about history, when I read about history, I clearly figured out that beta, there was no casteism. Okay? There was no casteism in the starting of the society. Tick. Now let's go back to the time when humans were just hunters and gatherers. You know, the problem started with the settlement. The problem started with the occupation. When one person was making the crops, the other decided to do the iron work. The another one decided to do the goldsmith work. Okay? The major problem started with learning. Right? But in Rig Veda, when you will learn about Rig Veda, there was Varna divided. The society was divided into 4 Varna. Okay? Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra. The Brahmins which used to learn, which used to study the Veda. Right? The Kshatriya which used to protect the kingdom. The Vaishya who was actually doing the work of like farming, he was a merchant, trading, etc. And the last one was Shudra, who was actually the servant of the all three. But you know that till there was Rig Vedic times, right? Rig Vedic's time, beta, there was not discrimination. There was division in the society on the basis of their work. But it was not rigid on the basis of birth. There are certain shlokas from the Rig Veda times which claims that beta, the person belongs to one varna on the basis of their capacity and not on the basis of birth. Right? In Rig Veda times. But what happened? What happened when the later Vedic age came? By later Vedic, matlab, some around 1000 BC, when iron was there, iron came. Right? When iron came, now the population was increasing. People were settling up more and more. What happened, beta? The groups. Again, the groups wanted to dominate the society. There was like Magad region, Avanti region, Kosambi region and lot of Mahajanpads. Now everyone wanted the power. So when the quest of power came in the society, na beta, these differences in the Varnas became more extreme. Because everyone wanted to prove that we are powerful. We are more powerful. So it is just because of power. Okay? Now later on, what happened, beta? In this Varna also, the society further gets divided on the basis of birth. Okay? On the basis of work particularly. Like, there is a person who is an ironsmith. Okay? If the person is an ironsmith, beta, he is considered to be as lohar in the society. So they were made a different group. And from here becomes jati. Right? Caste came into origin. A person who is a goldsmith becomes a sunar. A person who is doing fishing becomes a different community. Okay? A person who is doing the work of tailor, he becomes the different community. So, beta, further after Varna, the society divided on the basis of occupation, on the basis of the geography. Like, if we look at the surnames of Brahmins, particularly Upadhyayas, what are those? Those people who study the Upanishads. Okay? Who actually study about the Vedas. So yes, it depends upon the work, it depends upon the geography, it depends upon the occupation, through which, beta, the Varnas were further divided into caste, caste were further divided into subcaste. But now what happened? right? What happened beta, in the early Vedic time it was not sanctioned that the child of an ironsmith will only become ironsmith, but later on the system becomes so rigid, right? And then the social hierarchy was the part and parcel of the India's society, right? Caste system was based upon the system of exclusion and discrimination. It became the system that, acha, this caste, this work is not of a good level work, you are considered to be as lower caste. Acha, you are cleaning the toilets, you are considered to be as lower caste. You are reading the Vedas, you are considered to be as higher caste. You are protecting the kingdom, very higher caste. So this society became the society based on exclusion and discrimination to outcast the smaller ones. Yes, that happened. Okay? It included some inhuman practices later. You know that beta, the lower caste, that is Shudras, some of them were considered as Ati Shudra. By this was the Indian society. When a Shudra community person walked through the roads, the roads were cleaned. Bhai, brooming was done. You know that it was cleaned with water if the next person is Brahmin to be like coming from here. Okay? And here it get to the rise of one of the biggest social ill in Indian society, and that is bacha, untouchability. That is what beta, untouchability. So we know a lot of leaders who fought against the untouchabilities, that is Jyotiba Phule, Mahatma Gandhi, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Periyar Ramaswamy Naikar, who advocated and fought against this caste inequalities. Okay? But you might be thinking, ma'am, whatever you guys are telling us, right, whatever teachers are telling us, we can't see that in society. Yes. Why? Because the society has evolved. The society has changed beta. But when you talk to the elders, right, there are a lot of stereotypes in their mind. When you hear, you feel like, yaar, what are they thinking? Okay? This happened because of their upbringings, because of the societal issues, because of the societal thinking and ideology. Okay? But now, why the generation that is growing these days do not believe in this rigid caste system now? Are there any reasons? Yes, there are reasons, and the questions will come from this topic. Right? Question will come that beta, the changes have occurred in the caste system as of now. Explain why. Why the changes have come. Okay? So previously beta, what happened? The society was majorly, I'm talking about the ancient times. So the society was majorly rural in nature. By rural, I mean that by this was an area, right? This was an area where society lives, the people follow the same, what we can say, occupation or same belief anyhow. So what happened now? They were traditionally thinking that the people from this society cannot move out, neither anyone out of the society can come, right? So that indigenousness was so much imbibed in them. But now beta, development has been the part of life. Development in a way that economic development is seen. Now, lot of people are moving from the rural areas to search for jobs in the urban areas. Okay? But once they reach to the urban area, going back to the rural area is impossible because by opportunities are not there in terms of employment. Okay? When they come out beta, they even marry with the person whichever they like. So now whatever is happening now, either the person belongs to the same caste or not, it does not matters. But what matters right now is a man is working, she'll consider also a woman who is working, irrespective of from which caste she belongs. The same goes with the women also, right? The women is also seeking for a settled life and hence want the partner that is equal to the education, equal to the status. Right? That naturally happens with more men and women. So this economic development which led people to move out their villages, their caste, their society has opened their horizons that beta, everyone is equal. Right? To whatever caste they belong. Large scale urbanization, again the same example. Growth of illiteracy? No. Growth of literacy, yaar. Okay? So growth of literacy and education will taught us that by everyone is equal. No one is, who brought this caste system? We brought this caste system. We are the culprits. ठीक है. Occupational mobility are again the people working, moving for work life. ठीक है, trying to settle there with anyone, that means irrespective of caste. Okay, don't take this otherwise. Weakening of the position of landlords, and this is important in the society. By these landlords now holding a land, owing a land, would not allowing the people to move out of their region. ठीक है, not allowing them, and hence people just shrinked in that area only. Okay, so yes, this is caste system and the changes that occurred in the caste system so up till now. ठीक है, two statements are given here as assertion and reason. Study the statement carefully and identify the correct alternatives. So the statement assertion is exclusive attention to caste can produce negative results in democracy. Obviously, why? Correct. It can divert attention from other important issues, thus leading to tension, conflicts, and even violence. By both A and R are true, and R is just the correct explanation of A. Whenever the focus of the government is only on casteism or caste, obviously their focus on important issues will not be there. They just will seek to get more and more vote, taking caste as the popular base. Just drinking the water for a minute and coming back. Okay. Okay, so now moving to the next topic. Okay, so there is a pie chart given in the book. Beta, see, in civics particularly, na, all the images, all the pie charts, okay, all the boxes, quite important. Questions will come directly from there. Particularly the MCQs will come directly from there. Okay, we can't leave it. Like if I talk about the chapter like outcomes of democracy wala, gender, religion and caste wala, even federalism maybe, we have seen a lot of picture based questions that come directly. I will even make the lecture for picture based, picture image based questions from the entire textbook, so that on in one video you can have the access of all those. No worries. So population of different religious communities in India as per 2011. So the data is conducted or collected after every 10 years through census. Why in the CBSE textbook we are studying about the census conducted in 2011? Because beta, after 2011 the census is not conducted. Why? So after 10 years, as per 2011, it was 2021, and that time it was said that by COVID was there. Right now the census is going on. Basically census means beta counting of population. Okay? When counting of population is done, lot of other factors are also considered. How many members are there in the family, which member earns how much money, the family has how many assets, right? So that we can actually learn about the Indian society. So according to this census beta, it is clearly stated that the population of Hindu, Jain and Christians have declined marginally after 1961. According to this pie chart, the population of Hindu is 79.8%. Okay? 79.8%. The Muslim population in India is 14.2%. Okay? The other population is, however, we have Buddhism, that is followed by 0.6% in India, Jainism, that is 0.4%, and other religions and persuasion 0.7, religion not stated again, because we saw beta, as India is a secular society and we have the right not to follow any religion, there are people who stated that we don't follow any religion, that is 0.2% in the country. Christian it is 2.3% and Sikh it is 1.7% in the country. However, beta, the analysis is that since 1961, three communities, that is Hindus, Jain and Christians, they have marginally declined in the strength. Okay? However, the proportion of Muslim, Sikh and Buddhist have increased slightly. So these two lines are important as per MCQ objective. That which among the following has marginally declined since 1961, or which of the following has marginally increased. So when we talk about increase, Muslim, Sikh as well as Buddhism. Okay? The Prime Minister's high-level committee, popularly known as Sachar Committee. So over certain issues, over certain like matters in India, beta, the Prime Minister majorly makes the committee. This Sachar Committee was made to analyze the census of 2011, which shows that the proportion of the Muslim is expected. Not 2011, but to analyze the census. It shows that the proportion of the Muslim is expected to go up a little by absolutely 3 to 4% in 50 years. So this is an analysis done by such a commission. The census of India counts two solid reasons. The census of India also count two social groups, scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes also. Okay? In this census, we also calculate the number of people considered as scheduled caste or scheduled tribe, because beta, we have to make certain policies to upgrade them in the Indian society. So according to that, in 2011, beta, the scheduled caste population is 16.6%. However, the scheduled tribe population is 8.6% of the total population in the different parts of India. Okay? So this is the census report of 2011. Now coming towards one of the most important topic of civics, by caste in politics. Okay? So what it is? Caste in politics. And what is the another one? Politics in caste. Politics in caste. Right? To all the students who often get confused in this topic, beta, very easy. The first word influence the other. Right? The first word influence the other. Like caste in politics, by there is a box. Okay? There is a box in which a chocolate is kept. A chocolate is kept. So there is a box in which chocolate is kept, beta. Caste. This is caste. The chocolate is a caste. Caste in what, beta? Politics. Caste in what, beta? Politics. Chocolate in the box. Right? But there are lot of chocolates which usually come in a packaging in which toys are there. Okay? In which toys are there. So here there was a toy known as box. Okay? Toy known as box, beta. Now it becomes what? Politics in where? caste. Politics in where caste? Box in the chocolate. I know that's still confusing, but what happened na beta? Here, this caste influenced the politics. This caste influenced the politics. When you have a chocolate in the box, you are more attracted towards this chocolate, that I want the chocolate. Whenever you got to know that beta, this chocolate contained the toy, we are fascinated with the toy itself. Right? Caste in politics, when caste influence the politics, right? When caste influence what beta? The politics. So see beta, in the politics, right? In the politics, when casteism is the main basis, the casteism is taken as the main basis, right? You choose the leader according to the caste. You appeal for the vote according to the caste. So beta, when in the Indian politics, to fight for elections, to form the government, you take the basis as caste, then this is known as caste in politics. Getting my point? But in India, there also exists lot of caste system. Okay? And every caste want their dominance in what beta? Their dominance in power, in the government. They all also want to participate in the elections and all that. So, to prove their caste as superior, to prove their dominance in the society, what do they do? Beta, in caste also they play politics. So here the politics influences the already existing caste system, and here the caste system influences the already existing political system. Okay? Once I will tell you the example, everything will be clear to you. First, let us take the topic that is caste in politics. What it is? Caste in politics. Beta, when the political parties choose the candidate in election, keeping in mind the caste composition of the electorate, nominate the candidate from different castes so that to muster the support and win the election. So now consider that beta, I am living in a region. Okay? I am living in a region where three community live. Caste A, caste B, caste C. So this caste A somewhere consists of 50% of the members. Caste B consists of 25% of the members, and caste C consists of 25% of the member. Now beta, I am a political party. Okay? I am a political party. There are going to be elections in this region and I want to choose a candidate, right? I want to choose a candidate. Bhai, when I went and see that, bhai, there is so much influence of this caste A because more members are there. I know that bhai, if anyone stands from this caste, the votes will be coming from caste A to us. Okay? And caste A is in dominance. For obvious reasons, I will choose the candidate from caste A. So, beta, when party choose the candidate in elections, keeping in mind the caste composition, and nominate the candidate from different caste, beta, to support and gather the vote. This is known as what? Caste in politics. Politics was there, political system was there, elections was going to happen. We used casteism there. Okay? Now bhai, when these candidates are chosen, now these candidates go and appeal for vote and ask their caste, Dekh bhai, you are more, okay? I will be your leader, I will obviously work for you, right? They will talk about any culture or tradition they follow, right? They will talk about, I will do your benefit because I belong to your caste. Beta, whenever these emotional sentiments are used for seeking of the votes, to muster the support of the people, this is caste in politics, right? Actually, one factor is there, that is universal adult franchise. One person can vote, only one person only. So because of this principle, what is happening beta, the political leaders are so much compelled in mobilizing the support. Mobilizing the support, they know that this 50% of the people will have what beta? One person, one vote. If we get all these 50% votes beta, we can clearly win the election. But how is it possible? We need to get their support. We need to get their support. And how we will get that? Emotional sentiments, right? Making them deviated, making them feel that I belong to your caste, I will work for you. Choose the candidate from that caste only. So caste played in politics. But every time, right, up till now what we have studied, this gives us a clear-cut impression that beta elections are all about caste. Isn't it? You might agree with me. Yes, ma'am. Elections are all about caste. But beta, one fact is also there. And what is that? The focus on caste in politics sometimes give you an election that elections are all about caste, but it is far from reality. Why? Far from reality by, see, caste in India is so unique. ठीक है, caste in India is so unique. It is not that of religion. It is not that of communalism. Like we have seen, beta, differences, lot of difference in the single caste also. Some people considered as like upper people, some people considered as lower people. There might be fights among people within the caste itself. So when we analyzed, we saw that beta, no parliamentary constituency in the country has a clear-cut majority of one single caste. See, the votes are not going to be from single area. This is going to be for Lok Sabha. This is going to be for state legislative assembly. And the casteism in India is so unevenly decided that focusing on one caste cannot result into a positive manner at all. So beta, the legislative constituencies have seen that by there is no clear-cut majority. I know there was 50% people belonging from the caste state, but what is the surety that all the 50% people will give this vote to a person? Right? No party wins the vote of all the voters of the caste. Acha, one more thing. Beta, I am a political party. I got this brain of opting the candidate from party caste A. Why? Are all other political parties dumb? No. They will also choose the candidate from the same caste. So beta, this 50% vote from the same caste will be diverted, distributed to different candidates standing from different political parties. By many political parties put up their candidate from the caste. हो गया कबाड़ा? ठीक है, dusted here only. So the ruling party and the sitting MP or MLA frequently lose elections in our country, even if they are fighting from the place where their caste is in dominance. So the focus on caste in politics can sometimes be like an impression which is not true. Getting my point? Moving towards the second most important topic, that is politics in caste. Beta, each caste group. Right? See, now the word is what? Politics. ठीक है? Where? In caste. Who is influencing what? Because this politics is influencing the caste system in India. We know that various castes exist in India. ठीक है? अरे now the division is like जाति से सब जाति, caste to sub caste, and more further divisions. But beta, everyone want what beta? Their power, their dominance. Actually they want them. So each caste group try to become bigger by playing that political game. What? By incorporating within them the neighboring caste. Right? छोटी कास्ट मिलकर क्या करेंगे? What they will do all together, they will come together and say that अच्छा, let's become bigger and fight the elections next time. ठीक है? So that we will have the support of each other's caste. Neighboring caste group together. Right? They form the coalition a lot of times, like comes into dialogues and negotiations and forms the coalition. And even when they are coming together, division might also be there, na? So even beta, new type of caste group emerge because whenever this politics is there in the caste system, some of them declare themselves as backward, some of them declare themselves as forward. So when in the caste system politics is being played, this is known as politics in caste. And here we ended with the most difficult topic of the chapter, caste in politics, politics in caste. And I hope that everything is clear to you. Okay, now coming back to the topic, which of the following laws passed regarding 33% reservation for women in Lok Sabha and state reservation assemblies? Did you learn this? Yes. Women Empowerment Act? Nahi bhai, no. B. Gender Equality Act? No. Women Right Act? No. It is Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam Kanun, passed in the year 2023, which actually provides 33%, that is 1/3 reservation to women, where बच्चा in both Lok Sabha, ठीक है, plus state legislative assemblies, ठीक है. assemblies. Along with that, beta, already women enjoy such type of 1/3 reservation in local self-governing bodies like rural panchayats and urban municipalities. ठीक है? However, this act provides the same reservation in state assemblies and Lok Sabha. I hope that everything is quite clear to you. Before moving to the homework question, there are some sort of information that I want to give you. Number 1, information. Ma'am, we need those notes. I know that. You need it, you will need it, you will use it, and it will be very helpful for you. So the simple way to get your notes is like this. Oh my god, I opened it accidentally. Fine. So you can see this channel, beta. This channel is Diksha Vedantu CBSE English. Okay, the channel name is Diksha Vedantu CBSE English. Your teachers are for SST, obviously I am. We have for maths Sonu sir, science Aditi ma'am and Bhumika ma'am for English. However, beta, you can access the notes in the simple way possible. See, so you are in class 10th, we are studying gender, religion and caste. I will show you the playlist first. Here we have one shot playlist for all the class 10 chapters. 11 videos are uploaded. That means the chapter which are completed is, one of them is agriculture, rise of nationalism in Europe, resource and development, water resource by power sharing, nationalism in India is done, sectors of Indian economy done, forest and wildlife, and lot more chapters are done, beta. I will like it because you guys are not liking it. So basically what happened when you go down to this lecture, right? Every lecture, like once you're watching the gender, religion and caste, beta, go to the description as I am going right now. In the description, you will see this line, join the free class 10th CBSE course now. I am not asking you to join any course or pay for it. It is actually free. You just need to hit this link, okay? When you click this type of layout will come in front of you. This type of framework will come in front of you. Right? Beta, this is a full AI powered classroom course by Vedantu where you can get live classes by top master teachers and a lot more thing. By tests are there, unlimited access to the classes are there. Lot of times, beta, from YouTube we are not able to access that class notes, the PDFs. This is the solution to that. Even for the same chapter, we will be attaching the test also. So when you go down now, you have to just click buy now. Okay? When you buy now, beta, this type of what we can say format will be in front of your screen. Now you're the student of class 10th. I'll show you. This is your YouTube course of class 10. Go there. Okay? You can even see the schedule of the classes like this. Like past classes if you want to see. So class 10th, I taught agriculture. You can even play from here and see. If you don't want to see it on YouTube, you can see that here. Even the class slides are attached here. Okay? Online test of each of the chapter is also attached, beta, along with them. Okay? If you miss the online test, they will show you like this. So I want to show the resources first. CBSE class 10th SST. Once you view, beta, there will be like other, and here is the list of chapters we are studying. When you will go to the end, you will see one more chapter here. So the last chapter I taught on YouTube was agriculture. The class notes, class slides are attached here. Similarly, the next chapter you will see here is gender, religion and caste, and the class notes will be attached here itself. Okay, this is how you can access your notes of the same chapter. Now, I hope that the students who were struggling for ma'am, how to get the notes, this problem is clear to you. Fine. Now, I will tell you one more information that is quite important for you is about MVSAT. Now, what is MVSAT? Beta, MVSAT is a scholarship program or scholarship test conducted by Vedantu every year. You know that rewards your dreams up to 100% of scholarship if you want Vedantu courses. Okay? Along with that, there are scholarships of worth 150 crores. All the AIR ranks are going to get some crazy, what you can say, some crazy gifts. The exam will be conducted from the date 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 10th and 11th October. You can just erase easily. Again, the link is added in the description box. I will tell you the exam pattern. English mein hoga. It will be an offline test based upon OMR system. Objective type of questions will be there. For class 7 to 10, there is no negative marking. Yes, but for class 11th JEE NEET, negative marking is there in the exam. Last date to register is 30th of September and the date where your results will be declared is of 27th of October. You can see all the available benefits after participating in the MVSAT program, MVSAT exam. Along with that, you get free Olympiad camp and lot more thing. But go through it, register now before the last date is over. This is what I wanted to tell you, but we have one more important part of the chapter left, that is homework questions, without which I never leave my class, without which I never leave my students. And yes, we will talk about each of them and then end the class. First question, women in India still faces discrimination in various forms. Explain with the help of example. Beta, this question will come for how many marks? For 5 marks. Okay? How you have to write the answer is the way like this. First of all, so women in India still faces discrimination. You will write an intro. Okay? Then write 5 points like the difference in the literacy rate. Okay? Then you will write about sex ratio. Okay? After that, the third point was unpaid work. Unpaid work. The fourth point is domestic violence. Okay, domestic violence. Okay. The fifth point is beta low political representation. Fine. So 5 points. How many marks? 5 marks. So what is the secular state? Beta, a secular state is a state in which the state do not intervene into the religion. Okay? A secular state is the state in which there is no official religion of the country. Rather, everyone is allowed to follow any of the religion. Explain how India is a secular state by we have 3 points. The number 1 point is that India have no official religion. Okay? Beta, we do not have any official religion. The second is we do not discriminate anyone on the grounds of religion. Okay? Along with that third point, we give the right to what? Beta, the right to protect. Okay? Then right to profess and right to practice what? Religion. Getting my point? Great. So the next is, how can communalism take various forms in politics? By this is a question. This is a question where student often makes the mistake. How can communalism takes various forms in politics? You have to explain it. Do you remember the points that I gave? Why there is a paragraph being made by me in this lecture only, in this presentation only. Please, you can download it and get access to all of them. So how did communalism takes form in politics? Beta, when one religion believes that my community is superior over the another. Okay? Where all the decisions in politics is taken considering one religion as superior over the another. When political mobilization becomes the part of the society considering the communal things, considering the communal politics, this is known as what? Communalism taking form in politics. The candidates are being chosen considering what? The communities. Right? When people muster the votes on the communal sentiments also. This is it. Describe various forms of caste in politics. So, we know that by when people choose the candidates on the basis of caste to muster the support, when those candidates ask for like votes, taking emotional sentiments, adding caste sentiments in that. Okay? This is it. When people vote even considering the caste. Explain the status of women representation in politics of India. By very low, it is 15% in Lok Sabha. Accurately, it is 14 point some percent. And it is 5% in assemblies. Okay? Assemblies. Then because they have not written here only the negative thing that we have to write, we can even add on that beta 1/3 reservation is given to women in local bodies, because of which 10 lakh women participate in the politics of India. And then we can even add on the point that Mahila Adhiniyam Act, okay, the Women Reservation Act. How does caste get politicized? Give 3 points. How does caste, up now, what you have to focus here is, this is how the students get confused, caste in politics or politics in caste. They are saying, beta, how does caste gets politicized? So who is influencing whom? Beta, politics is influencing the caste. How does caste get influence, politicized? So 3 points are that when they merge with the neighboring groups to show their dominance, when they form coalition after having negotiations, and then they split into forward and backward caste. Okay? Very good. The focus on caste in politics can sometimes gives an impression that caste is all about the caste, election is all about the caste and nothing else. I told you now, beta, that every time in election, it is not that it is all about caste. The points we learned, that you have to write. Right? Because there is no clear-cut impression in any of the constituency that all the caste group members voted to the same person. Can never be. Caste can never be separated from politics. Who said this statement? Gandhiji. Justify this. Okay, gender division is not based on biology but on social expectations and stereotypes. Support this statement. These type of questions can often come from the civics part of your book, beta. Why? Because yes, these statements are from NCERT and sometimes you miss it. Okay? So yes, gender division in India is not based on biology, that women are weaker. It is just because of the ideology, the social ideology we have. This is it for the homework question, and this is it even for this chapter 2. So we completed one more chapter from our class 10, that is gender, religion and caste. I want the suggestion from your side that what is the next chapter that you want to learn with me. Again, I am saying that I will not teach you, we will learn. Okay? I hope that meanwhile you will listening this chapter, beta, you will read the NCERT after this, make the notes after this, you will take all the MCQs added by me very seriously, and you will be serious in solving and writing these homework questions. Give yourself the target of 2 questions a day, and in 5 days this chapter will be like makhan. Okay, so yes, that's it. See you soon in the next video. Up till then, take care. Bye bye. Do your hard work. All the best for your class 10 journey. By the way, I am the part of your journey. You can comment anything. You can comment whatever you want in terms of studies from me. I will be the one responding, and I will be the one making videos on that topic. Bye bye. See you soon.